This is my AP Calculus course website. It's set up on Moodle, and by no means is this a pitch for everyone to switch to Moodle, but it is a pitch for people to consider engaging deeply in a learning management system, because I think a learning management system is the medium through which you can really engage in a blended learning environment. And a blended learning environment is one that integrates both um, kind of the flipped classroom as well as traditional classroom models. So learning at home and working together in a traditional four-wall classroom. Um, so I want to go down here, just kind of scrolling through. Here are my different units, and for each different unit, there's an assignment. Um, Throughout the year, I put this together last year. What I really was playing with is the idea of a proficiency-based learning model, so that students would only move ahead once they've demonstrated mastery. And this is something I took a little bit from Khan Academy. But if you notice, here's an assignment, and if we click on it, it brings us to the assignment which a student will do at home. And for each assignment, there are videos that they watch, so they could click on this video, and it brings them to a lesson. They can open it a little bigger if they want to. But more importantly than just the videos, some people there's a misconception with the flipped learning that it's just there's lectures that students watch at home and then they do their homework in class. But the blended learning environment recognizes that uh, you're not giving them traditional lectures. Rather, you're introducing ideas, but you're also asking them questions and getting them to think a lot about theory. So after they watch these videos, um, they can review the notes. So if I click on notes, here are all the notes that came from that video. And so this is a really nice way for kids to get some review. Um, Sometimes some people will have these notes open as the video is going so they can kind of preview what's about to happen before it happens. But I think most importantly, or most important in this whole process, is that the students have to do a handful of theory questions that they will submit online after watching the videos. So they would add a submission and submit it. And as the teacher, what I can do is I can go and I can look here and I can read what each student had to say. So just to give an example, here's my first student, and this is what they had to say about the question, and I can go ahead and give them a grade. But more important than giving them the grade is the idea that I know before class how well a student understood a given material, so that it's kind of like triage. If I know kids really understood it, certain kids really understood it, they get going with problems. And I might work with a couple of kids who clearly might have misunderstood a topic and work on them more with theory. And then, so once they get into class, there are questions that they would do. So here are the questions that they would do the next day in class. And so you can see just kind of traditional class questions that you would do for homework. But now they're working in groups. They're putting problems up on the board. They're making video solutions for problems. Um, and this is where I think the learning is very different. Um, After they watch this video, the next night they need to demonstrate proficiency. So this is a little quiz, and they need to do well on this quiz in order to open up the next assignment. So all of these gray assignments are locked until they demonstrate proficiency. And what this does is I think, is it really forces kids to learn the material, to be able to do well, and so that they're not going to be moving on. They won't just move on with a 50% understanding. They need to have good understanding to move on. Uh, what the implication, of course, is this potentially could stagger the class quite a bit. Some kids might slow down and other kids could speed up. Um, but this idea became sort of novel to me after reading the Clayton Christensen's book, Disrupting Class, that we should encourage a separation in the classroom to recognize that students do learn at different speeds. Uh, so, so this is the model that I'm using, and it would be impossible to measure all this without a learning management system. The learning management system gives quick, immediate feedback to students, and it lets me monitor their progression as well. So I think that's about it as far as navigating through this Moodle site.